The main theme of my work is about classical inspired landscapes, ancient games, science, and mythical beliefs. And I enjoy incorporate art and science and myths to offer a holistic ways of understanding the world. Like Zhang has introduced, here we have exhibited my works of 3 series of my works. That is Lego landscape at this site, and box landscape at both this side and that side, as well as the mythical landscape that is also at that site. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So then we move to what is Lego landscape? Lego landscape is a special way for me to paint Chinese landscape paintings, and it's a method that I use to paint landscape by constructing visual samples of Legos, and I construct mountains and trees. You can see in that paintings too, as well as the paintings show here. I construct mountains and trees and scenes by assembling and arranging Lego blocks. And sometimes these landscape paintings are inspired by traditional paintings, like this one is inspired by Shenzhou's work. I will talk about it later. And also that one is inspired by Suzhou Garden, that is a real scene. And also sometimes it is entirely imaginative, like the box Lego landscape. And I use fine line paintings to depict the form, and blue-green landscape painting techniques for coloring. And so I will go through a brief history about the blue-green landscape and my learning experience of landscape painting that inspires me to do this Lego landscape. So a small question now, like when you think about Chinese landscape painting, what image will come into your mind? Like this, or like this, or like this? How about these paintings? Are you familiar with these images? Yeah, and these paintings belong to the blue-green landscape type. And so in general, 青绿山水 blue-green landscape refers to the landscape art that primarily use the mineral and plant-based colors to create a blue-green color scheme in the paintings. And it is one of the 3 main type of landscape paintings in China, which we have ink wash landscape, and then blue-green landscape, and light crimson landscape. So we'll focus on blue-green landscape first today. So the type of blue-green landscape originated from East Jin dynasty. Like this painting, it's the Goddess of Luo River painting scroll. You can see in this painting, this is not typical landscape painting yet, but it shows a lot of landscapes like surrounded the main figures. The landscapes like serves as a way to differentiate to separate scenes from scenes, and when this hand scroll tries to tell the stories. And then when we move to Sui dynasty, here it comes the earliest blue-green landscape painting by Zhang Ziqian, Spring Outing scroll. You can see that figures in this painting becomes very tiny. Yeah, hardly see, very tiny here and here, some white figures. And so it's said to be the earliest blue-green landscape painting because it is the first time that landscape becomes the independent theme in the painting. And we can see from the painting that the blue-green mineral color is like in thinner layer. Oops. And then we move to Tang Dynasty, that is development, further development of the kind of blue-green landscape. And the most famous artist in this period is Li Sixun and Li Zhaodao. They are father and sons. And this painting is by Li Sixun. like he was actually a member of Tang imperial family, and he's not a professional artist, but he's actually the grand general. And then this painting by Li Zhaodao is the son of Li Sixun, and this painting describes the Emperor Tang Xuanzong's visit to Shu, that is Sichuan. You can see from the right corner of the painting the figure in red on the horse, that is Tang Xuanzong. And both Li Zhaodao and Li Sixun, they were grand generals, and like they were not only doing painting, but they are also like working high positions. So they were called senior, junior, and general Lis in Tang Dynasty. And then we move to Song Dynasty. The development of blue-green landscape moves to a peak. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with this painting. It's like a legendary piece, 千里江山图 by Wang Ximeng. That's the Thousand Mile Landscape Scrolls by Wang Ximeng. And it depicts a splendid, it's very long, 11 meters long. And it depicts complicated landscapes in very thick blue and green mineral colors, and it shows great techniques in painting both the mountains, trees, as well as the buildings. And this is also the only surviving work attributed to Wang Ximeng. And we actually, it's a legendary piece, as we can see from the end of this hand scroll. There is Cai Jing talks about the story of Wang Ximeng. So Song Huizong, actually, he found Wang Ximeng that he was very talented. So he taught him by himself. And within only half years of this teaching, Wang Ximeng handed in this splendid blue-green landscapes scroll to Song Huizong. That was amazing. But it was also a sad story that he worked so hard. After he finished this painting, he died shortly. Oh yeah, and also when he did this painting, he was only 18 years old. And then we have the autumn landscape scroll, a tribute to Zhao Boju, and also the pine trees and golden pavilion by Zhao Bosu. If you still remember Li Sixun and Li Zhaodao, who was the father and sons, and also the emperor's family, and Zhao Bosu and Zhao Boju is also relatives of the emperor's family. And they were actually brothers, and both very good at painting. This was their blue-green landscape paintings. And then we moved to Yuan Dynasty. The style of blue-green landscape started to change. It was very much influenced by literature painting style, and the thick color becomes thinner, and the color style becomes like more elegant. And this is the painting by Qian Xuan, the mountain dwelling Shanju Tu. And then we move to Ming Dynasty. We have Qiu Ying, the cherry blossom spring at the left, and also later Ming, we have Chen Hongshou's painting at the right. And for Chen Hongshou's painting, you can see that the shape, the forms of the mountain is not that much reflecting the nature, but it's like more personalized shape. It's influenced by the mannerism in later Ming Dynasty. So it moves to Qing Dynasty. I'm gonna diverge a little bit from the blue-green landscape, and talks about a painting manual that is 芥子园画谱, which is mustard seed garden manual of paintings. And this manual was used for many generations when people started to learn painting, and it also influenced the Japanese manga. like we can see from the pages inside that this menu tries to break down landscape elements like rocks, tree trunks, as well as leaves into visual elements, into basic elements. So when we learn Chinese paintings, we copy from these elements and learn how to paint it. And then after learning these elements, we reassemble these elements into a landscape painting. And this process kind of reminds me of when we're doing Lego blocks. It feels like when we do Lego block, when we play with Legos, we also like search for different kind of blocks, and we reassemble them into our own scenery. And it also reminds me of people's way. Sorry, a little bit nervous. Thank you. It also reminds me to rethink about the way we learn Chinese painting. Like it feels a little bit boring at first when we don't do live sketching at first, but we like copying like a copying paper. It's originally it's like at first feels a little bit boring for me, but then I started to think that it's actually a personalized reinterpretation of the Asian classics. So I think maybe I should put this into an extreme and use the Lego blocks to reinterpret the classic works. So I started doing experiments. I picked some of the pages in a Mustard Seeds Garden, and I translated them into the similar form, but everything in Lego form. Like for this page, it's a ranch. It talks about the arrangement of stones, rocks, and then I translate it into Lego forms like this. And another one is learning after copying and translate the rocks, trees, and also figures in traditional forms. It's like a contrast of traditional forms and Lego forms. And I'll skip this part for the first. And I'm not satisfied only doing the elements by itself. So after some experiments, I started trying doing like copying a whole piece of the work. And so I pick Shenzhou's 水墨山水图卷. It's like ink landscape hand scroll. Shenzhou is the founder of the foremaster of the Wu school in Ming Dynasty. He was an influential literati he was a very influential literati painter. And this painting I chose belongs to his mid-career style, and it was very delicate and with a lot of meticulous structures. And so I translate this painting into Lego form. And there are some details you can see. I transform the creeks into Lego creeks. And also here, as you can see that the figures, here's the little guy sweeping the floor, a little Lego guy sweeping the floor, and also and in the buildings there's a guy hiding here. Looks like the master, and here's the Lego master. Yeah. And also try different series, like for this one is Scholar's Rock in Lego form. And also, like I mentioned, and also exhibit here, this piece is based on a classical Suzhou garden, Huanxiu Shanzhuang, mountain villa of embracing beauty. Have you been there before? Do you know this garden? It's not as famous as 拙政园 or 往事园, but I really recommend you to go to this garden when you visit Suzhou. It's a tiny garden and very famous for the artificial mountain, or like the rocks in the middle, and the rocks very beautiful. And so when I paint this 环秀山庄, I try to like incorporate Legos and my feelings about this garden into this painting. And also a little activity, maybe you can do it later. And can you find the Lego man? It's related to when I did this painting, I was thinking whether I should put a Lego man inside the painting, and I did some draft, and there is the missing Lego man there. It's not fully finished, but it's like a draft of the Lego man. Oh, no, it's you can find it later, but I'm not going to tell you now. Thank you. And after the Lego landscape series, I also developed the Lego into box landscape. And for this one, it's like the traditional 4-season series. And I feel like this portable landscape, it's like influenced by the commercialized world. So the big tradition is chopped into tiny pieces, and we can grab and go. And also this is like a combination of different boxes, and I move on not only about landscape, but also about maybe some scientific objects into the box, and to create more meanings in the series. And this is the mythical landscape series. This is the Klotsky series, also shown in our exhibition. Okay, then after 3W, we're going to move to how to paint Lego landscape. It's like sorry about it. So I will talk about the materials, the color system, and a brief introduction of the painting procedure. So the materials of like painting Lego landscape, it requires mostly the gongbi painting materials. So we will need fine line brushes. Fine line brushes, here I have some fine line brushes. It's relative smaller than other brushes, and it's thinner, and it was made of whistle hair, or sometimes also rabbit hair. And the hair has more elasticity, and so it helps to reflect the hand movement. You can. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this is for doing the lines. And for white cloud brushes, it's another kind of brush that it actually has different size, like bigger size can be this, a smaller size can be like this. And the size difference depends on how big the painting you need to paint. And it's comprised of goat hair or goat hair plus whistle hair in the middle. So it's the goat hair provides better water absorption, so it's easier to do like coloring.
Is it different from the ones they use for like calligraphy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And for ink, ink stick is better. Like it provides a clearer ink. But for convenience, sometimes liquid ink, good quality liquid ink is also acceptable. And for the media, we could use paper, and maybe you know 宣 paper, 宣纸. But the paper we use to do these paintings, like for gongbi paintings, it's a little bit different, because normally the 宣 paper we use for calligraphy, it's when you apply ink onto it, it will infiltrate, right? So it's like the raw 宣 paper. And also we also have some half raw and 宣 paper. It's like when you apply ink, it will be like this. It will infiltrate a little bit. But the one we use for gongbi painting and landscape painting is like this one is like ripe paper. It has the layer of alum on the paper, so the water or the ink doesn't penetrate or infiltrate into the water, so it's easier to control the shape and lines and to do like delicate shapes. And there are different kinds like mica, cicada robe, and clear water, different kinds of xuan paper. And a part of xuan paper, a lot of my works is also done by silk. Later you can see from this painting. Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, yeah. Silk. It's like yeah, you can. Yeah, it's fabric silk. And for colors, we have mainly two different types of colors. One is the water-soluble color and mineral colors. And we have this different types. For water-soluble color, like ochre, carmine, gamboge, and ultramarine. And for mineral colors, we have, it's actually comes from like minerals, like lapis lazuli, turquoise, peacock ore, and as well as cinnabar. You can see like when we have these minerals, we grind it into powder and we add gel medium to apply for it, to apply it onto the silk or paper and to make it stick to the silken paper. You can see this is the lapis lazuli grounded into powder. I'll let it be here and you can see it later after the talk. And this is the turquoise and and thank you. And this is cinnabar. It's red in color. And this is the gel when it's dry, and we put it in warm water and leave it until it's solved in water, and then it becomes like a gel. It's like gel-like, and we apply it onto the color powder, and then it becomes the. This is also the traditional way to use the mineral colors. And for painting procedures of like the Lego landscape paintings, I will do a drafting, and then this one is actually the fine outline. And when we do the outline, it's though the line is very thin, but we still try to follow the calligraphic aesthetics in the lines to let breath into the lines and let the like movement and rhythms. And then after doing fine outlining, then it's like gradient coloring. It requires like two brushes, one with color and the other is like with water. And when you apply for the color and you quickly drag the color, like gradient the color and let the color makes like no boundaries, and it gradually becomes thinner. And then we have layered colorings that is like we only use one colored brush to color the whole areas, like, and we don't use we don't gradient it anymore. So actually, the painting process. This is the short form of the painting procedure, and when we do it, we do gradient coloring and layer coloring for like dozens of times, and like several layers of gradient coloring, and then some layered coloring. And sometimes to make the painting clean, I also wash it to clear out the color that is not absorbed by the silk, and then another several layers of gradient coloring and layered coloring. And actually, one painting requires like at least 30, maybe 30 to 50 times of layers, and it requires a long period, like around like for small paintings, maybe a half or to 1 month to finish. Okay, that's it for almost everything. So to take home message, it's like bring blue-green landscape is a important landscape art form that use minerals and plant-based colors to paint landscapes. And the type of landscape, blue-green landscape, was born in Sui Dynasty, developed in Tang and reached a peak in Song Dynasty, and moved to literati style starting from Yuan Dynasty. And also the basic process of Gongbi fine line painting composed of drafting, fine outlining, gradient coloring, and layered coloring. About the Lego landscape, the message I want to say is that it's fun to incorporate our own perspective to engage with the traditional classics and creating dialogues and make it lively and fun. And thank you.
Okay. You've talked about a lot about your creating procedure, but I think a lot of our audiences will be very interested to hear like what triggered you to develop, for example, from Lego landscape to boxed landscape and later to mystical landscapes. Can you like share that journey with us?
Oh, sure. Like from Lego landscape to box landscape, that is during the period when I graduated from Chinese University of Hong Kong, and so I lived in Hong Kong and rent a tiny room and tiny studio, and within the confined space, I still try to like live and work lively. I feel like this living status is like a small universe or a small landscape in the confined box. And I also need to move from place to place. And I move from each year to so like this moving experience feels like this every experience is like grab and go. So I developed this boxed landscape to depict the short period of memory or like the life and experience when I live in the rented and confined space in Hong Kong. And then for after like painting the landscape boxes, I started to incorporate not just Lego landscape or not just landscapes, but also other collections, maybe like here, here in this painting pagoda, there is penicillin molecules here, and there are 珊瑚怎么说呀? Oh, coral, thank you. There are corals in some boxes, and these are like, I feel like corals reminds me of the world of immortals, while penicillin molecules is like heals people in modern world with the science. So they are all like leading to cures and immortals. So I try to incorporate some science or mythical parts into the boxes, and it creates like, I feel and to create meanings and between boxes. Like for this painting, the enigma of time also showed here. We can see that I incorporate different objects about the time. At the bottom of the painting, there's a maze or labyrinth I feel like when you walk inside the labyrinth, you like it's a feeling of self-discovery, and it's a meditation process, and it's about experience and feeling of time. And then we have 就看哪边好，那边的话 Zoom 是不是看不到？哦，OK OK， and then for the black object, it's actually a clock. It's a clock, but without hands. You can see that there's closing eyes instead of the hands there. I feel like that our feelings and our experience of time is not, it's different from the mechanical measurement. So I use this to represent our feelings and sensation of time. And here you can see there's a pigtail. So I feel like here when you like grow slowly, and it also collects some of the experience and memories when it grows. So when you cut it as a pigtail, it's also like a feeling of time. And here it's a cave, but it's a temporary cave made of paper, and actually it's on fire. So it's when we think about cave, when we think about the cherry blossom spring, it's like a tunnel to the another world, but it's on fire, so it's a temporary tunnel that it will disappear in a short period of time. Okay. Sorry. This painting belongs to the Klotsky series. For Klotsky Huarongdao, have you heard of that game, the board game? Have you played with it? Yes, and the right part is actually the board of Klotsky. So I feel like when you play with the game, it's like a transition of transition in focus. It's like a transition of time, and you are like God eye view of that mini world. And so I changed the name of the board. Originally it's Cao Cao Guan Yu, but I changed it into like trees, mountains, as well as black holes and tunnels to different worlds. And so I feel like by thinking about moving these boards around, it creates new connections between different dimensions and different objects. And these two pieces is also exhibited here and there. And it is that one is called the portrait. It's also derived from the Klotsky system, and it incorporates elements like in the body. For example, here we have thank you. We have here is the structure of bones. If you view it in the microscope, and this is the fingerprint, and also blood vessels. I feel like this is my way to view to view our body and to contemplate about our body. And for this one, it's called energy ladder. Can you guess what is this S-shaped thing? Have you ever seen this shape before? It's actually a different form of periodical table. So it's like each square represents an element in the periodical circle, in the periodical table. And in this form, it reflects the energy level increasement. This form of periodical table reflects the energy increasement, and it provides like alternative view to see these elements that compose of our world. So I feel like use this painting to view the world as like a symphony made of different notes with these elements.
Now I guess we're into the Q&A section. Any of you have like questions to Xiaoli, to the artist? Please.
Did you grow up with Lego? Why do you have a strong connection to Lego?
Yeah, I play Lego when I was a kid. Yeah, and it suddenly connects with me when I was learning the landscape painting, like studying from elements and the like composing a painting with visual elements. And this thinking form reminds me of Lego landscape, though the like traditional landscape and Legos are like seems not related, but their thinking forms and their way of creation is actually similar, like repeating symbols, elements, and like compose like a garden or a scenery that in your heart. 胸中秋壑.
Let's we can actually have a couple of questions from our online audiences, and let me just... Okay, one audience is actually like wanted to know like in like for mystical landscape, there are just like so many elements in there, like how you put them together, like is there any certain ways that you do it?
Like for the Klotsky series, I have the Klotsky board as the structure.
Just like
okay. And within the structure, I assign different boxes with different meanings, and this create the connections between the different objects. And for this painting, Enigma of Time, it's like a period of collection. I collected different objects and the images or the concept of each object. And actually, this painting, I connect these objects into a painting through the inspiration of a Netflix TV drama, like The Dark. Have you watched it? Yeah, yeah. I got some inspiration from that TV series, and for that one, the Mobius stripe. The shape is the Mobius stripe, and it's like topological representation of the mythical idea of Ouroboros, that is a snake that a snake in a round shape that holds his tails, and so it creates a alternative way to view time, that the end is the start. That is also mentioned in the Dark series. And so in that painting, I incorporate the rock, fire, clouds, and water, the natural elements that into the Mobius stripe. And I feel like because it's about infinity, like this object actually turns into each other within time, and it's like moving around, turning into each other, and it's an infinite cycle.
Thank you so much. Okay, so okay, you're right.
So I saw your work is like very related to architecture and space. Can you talk about the relationship between your work and architecture? Because some of your work is already defined the boundary of the object, and inside the boundary have the different scales of the object. So I just find that very interesting because I'm an architect. So
thank you for your question. Yeah, I think I'm interested in space and play with space. And like in daily life, I also like playing with space, that I move my furniture in my studio here and there for a while, and it creates a new feeling about the space and how I interact with the space. And also in paintings, I try to use this different space to define the like the connections between different concepts or the objects in the different objects and concepts in the box or in the space, and how they relate, or how they may change inside the pictorial world. And I also find it interesting that is that in two-dimensional it feels like a limitation, but at the same time it also creates some possibilities that it's actually limited in 3D world. It's like for this box painting, you can see this box in multiple ways, that the space is actually a little bit surreal, and it creates more imaginations, like it kind of surpasses the 3D world.
Hi, Xiaoli.
Hi.
So earlier you gave a list of the colors, and I thought the Chinese colors, the names of them had such different vibes once you translated them into English. And I was wondering, in what ways do you think color has different feelings when you give it different names, in the culture of the Chinese world versus the so-called Western world?
Thank you for your question. That's a difficult one. First, I feel like many of the name of the colors is also related to Chinese medicine. For example, like cinnabar is the material also used in Asian China practice to make the elixir, the 那个丹药 that makes people to become immortal. And for just a minute. Okay, well, I try to record the pages. Okay. Oh, it's okay, it's still there. Yeah, and for gamboge, the tenghuang, it's actually a little bit poisonous, and it's from the a plant. It's the dried extract of the poisonous plants. And yeah, like when I use cinnabar, I feel like it's not only about the color, but also about its meaning, about immortals. When I paint fires, I often use the cinnabars to relate to it. Yeah, it's a difficult question. I'm not sure if I answered it completely.
That's a good question for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's a takeaway message for me.
So we have a couple more questions from the Zoom chat. The first one, are there other concepts from your education and the sciences that you want to play with in your art?
Science. There are many examples. Yeah, maybe I'll choose this one. This like round shaped objects. Some people take it as the Tesla球. That's the Tesla's
like when you touch it and your hair go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people see it as the like when I paint it, I see it as a cell in microscope, like the structure of cell. I feel like this reminded me of the Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins. He said something about the similarity that is far away. 遥远的相似性, I'm not sure if I translated right. Feel like that similar shapes or objects, similar shapes or rules applies to the world of different dimensions or to different times. And also, when you think about, you can see later from that painting at that side, that's the dawn, and you can see the tree branches. At the same time, it also looks like the veins or blood vessels or the nerves. I feel like it's also a feeling about the similarity seems far away.
Thank you for answering that question. And we have a lot of like elements in these paintings that like everybody can feel free to explore it when you look at the paintings in like closer details. And then the next question we have from the Zoom chat is, could you briefly introduce your sources of inspiration from Western art?
Yeah, this one is a good example. It's related to Joseph Canal. Joseph Canal is one of my favorite artists, and he did installations that puts in different objects into boxes and creates new meanings and surreal imaginations. So when I saw one of his installation, it's similar to the painting. It's also in the glass box, but inside it's a pink column. On the pink column, it's a paper cutting with a person riding a horse. That is black and white. But when I saw it quickly, what I saw is like the painting. I saw a pine tree inside the box. I feel like this misreading or like this illusion is very interesting. So I painted out, and the name of the painting is after Joseph Canal. When I think about it, it's like our cultural background or our visual habits. It may influence how we see the world or see the installations.
Okay, thank you so much today for coming, and please come over and mingle with artists. And if you have any questions directly to the artist or want to have a look at the painting closely, please feel free to walk around and enjoy.
Thank you.